Now, the issue of terrorism will be high on the agenda when world leaders gather here next week. In October, ASEAN and its dialogue partners China, the US, and Japan agreed to strengthen regional counter-terrorism cooperation. Islamic State militants are of particular concern. They're recruited from this region but are now returning from Iraq and Syria. It's estimated there are more than 1,000 of them. Now, the last few years have already seen a spate of attacks claimed by IS and their affiliates in the region. For example, the siege of Marawi in the southern Philippines last year and the Surabaya attacks in May. On top of that, the threats from regional terrorist networks like Jemaah Islamiyah. They were responsible for many regional attacks like the 2002 Bali bombings and the 2009 explosions at the JW Marriott and Ritz-Carlton hotels in Jakarta. Some analysts say Southeast Asia is facing its highest terrorism threat level since the September 11 attacks. The Marawi siege showed how forces need to boost intelligence capabilities, improve urban warfare training, and look into the threat of radicalization among displaced citizens. Since 9/11, ASEAN has developed a substantial arsenal against terrorism. The cornerstones are the legally binding 2007 ASEAN Convention on Counter-Terrorism and the 2009 ASEAN Comprehensive Plan of Action on Counter-Terrorism. But the ASEAN way of non-interference means that the onus of countering terrorism falls on individual member states. The region recognizes the need for a collective approach, and October's joint statement on counter-terrorism cooperation is a step in that direction. Now, as mentioned earlier, state leaders from Malaysia, the US, Russia, and China will be in Singapore. And here's a look at their plans for the next few days.